Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Radical Lifestyle. Most of you know that Diwali is right around the corner. And for those of you who don't know, Diwali is the festival of lights. It's when Hindus around the world celebrate the triumph of good over evil. We celebrate Diwali by lighting small clay lamps or diyas around the house and by making sweet and savory snacks. We also decorate our house with flowers and rangoli art. Today, I'll be making a popular Indian sweet called Mysore Pak. It's made with chickpea flour, sugar, and ghee. So let's jump right into the video and to see how to make Mysore Pak. So first, we're going to sieve the chickpea flour. So I've got about 1 cup of chickpea flour here, and I'm going to run it through a sieve just to make sure we don't have any clumps. Okay, so here's 1 cup of sieved chickpea flour. Next, we're going to roast it a little bit just to remove that raw taste and that raw smell. So here is where your multitasking skills come into play. We're going to be doing 3 things here. 1, we're going to roast the chickpea flour. 2, we're going to make the sugar syrup. And 3, we're going to melt some ghee. So let's get started with the sugar first. I'm going to take 1 cup of sugar. And then 1/2 cup of water. Now we're going to let it melt for some time. You can give it a quick stir to dissolve everything. And we're going to let it sit there and boil for a few minutes until all the sugar is dissolved. Next, let's start melting the ghee. I'm going to take about 1 cup of ghee and pour it into this hot pan. And we're just going to let it melt all the way through and not make it too hot or boil. Now let's roast the chickpea flour. I'm going to pour this into this pan now. The roasting doesn't take too long. Now you don't want to burn this flour, so you're going to put it on a medium to low flame and keep stirring and make sure you don't burn anything. Okay, so if you see, my ghee is all melted, and you don't want it to start bubbling or overheating. So you just want it just melted. So I'm going to turn that stove off. And by now I'm starting to get that chickpea smell, and you want to fry it just until that raw smell is gone. If you see like the sides are starting to get burnt, just reduce your flame and bring it all to the center. Alright, so the chickpea flour is done. I don't want it to cook any further because otherwise it'll start turning brown. Now I'm going to move this back into the bowl, because if it stays in the hot pan, it's going to cook further and then the bottom part will get burnt. So my chickpea is ready. And now I'm going to give my sugar syrup a stir to see how far it's come along. Okay, it's not done yet, so we'll wait for that to dissolve all the way. Okay, so my sugar is also ready. My sugar syrup, I should say. When you want it in a 1-string consistency. See, this is a 1-string consistency. I'm going to turn the sugar off. And I'm going to add the chickpea flour little by little. We don't want to add it all together because then it could cause lumps. And then just mix it well. So this part is just a lot of mixing and stirring, and you know, the better you stir, the more soft and more lump-free your Mysore Pak will be. So you can see all these lumps here. You want to break that. You want to break all the lumps. Okay, so I've mixed all of the chickpea with the sugar syrup, and I've got a really low flame going underneath, and I've tried to get all of the lumps out as I possibly can. And this is the consistency you want right before the next step. Alright, so next step is adding the ghee, and this too we're gonna add little by little and make sure that we mix everything in before we add the next batch. This too again is to make sure we don't have any more lumps. If you're a fan of ghee, this smell is absolutely wonderful. You're gonna love it while you're making this, because it's the sugar syrup and that frying ghee. It's the smell is just wonderful. Here you go, some more ghee. While that is happening, we're going to take a bowl to set the Mysore Pak in, and with the remaining ghee I'm just going to grease it everywhere so that when we take it out of the mold, it comes out perfectly. So just put a nice even spread of ghee everywhere. Nicely greased. I'm going to come back to my Mysore Pak here. It's all moist and you know, all absorbed into the dough. If it comes off like this, you know, it's very easily coming off the pot, then you know it's ready. Alright, so I'm gonna stop right here, turn off my stove, and just mix it just one last time. Okay, then I'm going to transfer it to my mold. Once it's off the pan into the mold, you want to just give it a nice shape and smooth it out evenly so that it cools down evenly. Alright, so I'm just going to even out all the sides and the center. We're going to let it sit here like this for a few minutes until it cools down a little bit. And you don't want to wait until it cools down completely, because then it'll be hard to cut it into the shapes. But it's going to wait another 15 minutes or so, just so it cools down a little bit and takes that shape, and then we can get to the cutting. Alright, so this is cooled down a little bit. How you know that it's cold is if you touch the bottom and it doesn't burn your hand. That's how you know it's cold. And here it is. I've cut it into small square pieces. You can cut into diamond pieces also, but it's most commonly seen as small square pieces, and it's ready to eat. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to see more videos just like this. I'll see you next time.